Hello dear creative, welcome to another tutorial by Radiance Creations. So I know you know that without telling you anything, you know that it is our cap want to make. You have seen it, and apart from seeing it, you have already seen Marco here, and you know that we are making Zara cap. So I will be using this Ankara fabric, and you'll be needing like 1 yard of your Ankara fabric. You're gonna use another fabric, different fabric of your choice, but I'll be making this on Ankara fabric. So that's why I'm using the remaining part of the Ankara to make this our cap. You'll need to thread, my office pin, um, scissors with simple BC stars of gum, and also these trimmings and other materials that you will get to know as we move on this video. So first thing is to, I know this is not new to many people, but I will need to start from the beginning. So I have 24 inches for the width. Don't mind the cutting. I was just managing the fabric. So that's why I cut that way. And the length of this fabric is not that much because I'm managing this fabric. I have 13 inches here by 24 inches. The head circumference side, even I have 25 inches here. The head circumference side is okay for me, but the width is also okay for me. I don't want it too bulky at the back. So the 14 inches, you can make use of 15, 16. It just depends on how you want it to be. Now, get the center of this fabric and the center of your marco. The length for the marco, I'm using 18 inches, the normal 18 inches we normally use, by 2.5 inches. If you want your own to be high, you can increase it to 3. You can make use of 2 inches depending on how you want your own to come out. So I'll knot the center of this fabric and get the center of the marco, and we do it the way we used to do it. Now you can first secure the edge of your fabric. If you have a frayed fabric like this that frays at the edges, you can just secure it first before you place your marco in between. So I've gotten the center of this marco and the center of the fabric. I'm just going to fold it the way we do our fabric, our this thing. So I will fold this one inside. I'll fold it in, take it to my sewing machine and sew. I'll sew it away very close to the marco. So I'm going to sew it straight. I'll sew it straight, and I'll also secure it here. I'll sew it here. This is optional. You might not sew these two edges, and you can go ahead to sew it. So I'll do that in this video. I'm going to fold this inside. If you have hidden the edge at the beginning, you don't need to fold it inside again. But since I did not hide any place, I'm going to fold it inside and sew straight and also secure these two edges. Hope you understand what I'm explaining. Let me go ahead to sew that and come here to show you the next thing to do. Yeah, I've sewed it just the way I described it. Sew this place and sew the two edges just to secure the marco from moving around. So now turn it to the right side, fold it like this. So after folding it to two, I'm going to nail the edge circumference. The edge circumference is 22 inches divided by 2, that is 11 inches. But this is not a stretching material, so I'm going to add half, making it 11.5. So I'll sew it straight and sew it to this end like this. I'll sew from here and sew it just like the way you sew your turban, and I'll sew it straight. I like how this thing is very small, but it's not too big, so you can increase your own or use the same length I use. I'll go ahead to sew it just like this. Yeah, I've sewed it. So because this thing phrase, that's why I use my scissors to trim out these edges. So make sure you go ahead to weave your own. But something happened now. I made a mistake. I was supposed to sew now. So I'm going to lose it and first make use of what I wanted to do on it before I go ahead to sew. So I'll do that later. I'll lose it out now and do what I wanted to do on it before. I'm very sorry for that. Now this is what I wanted to do. I want to place this satin. I cut 4 inches by 24 inches out. So I sewed it and turned it out. So here is what I have. I'm not going to just place it on it this way. I'll be putting this wording. It's a soft word. It's not too soft, but you can use the hard one. You can use this soft one. I'll be inserting this soft wording inside the satin. So I use my office pin. I'm going to insert it inside and bring it out from the second end. So where you sew must face the center, must be at the center. Where you sew must be at the center so that you can place it on the Zara cap on the base we've already made. Now we have the wording inside. So this is what I have. My wording is not that fitted inside this um, satin, but I'm going to use that way. Now I'll apply my gum on this and use it on this. You can use your hot glue, but there's no electricity now. I'm going to be using my basic styles of gum to glue it to this the marco. So make sure you use it generously. If you're using basic styles of gum, use it generously. So allow air to blow on it before you go ahead to glue it to this base. So what I did, that is why I make it smaller than this marco. Now the marco is about 3 inches, while this one is 2 inches. I want this Ankara to be seen on it, or be under it, I mean. So again, I'm going to place this Ankara on it. I'm sorry I didn't show this from the beginning, but I will explain it. So I cut 4 inches by 24 inches, just like the way I cut this satin. I use satin here. So I cut it and turn it to the one side, sew it and turn it out. So because I want it to stand on this thing. So that's why I applied my gum on it, and I'm folding it into two to have about 1 inch so I can place it at the center of that satin. So I apply my gum on it. You can use your sewing machine to do that. So I will again apply my gum on it again and place it at the center of this satin just to make it look like this. Do you understand? So I'm going to place it on it. Let me apply my gum now generously on it if you are using something like this. So now you can just leave it like this or place your trimmings just one. I'll cut one roll and place it on this. I can cut one or two and place it like this. But we're going to do that later. So let me allow this to glue to the fabric before I move to the next thing. Now the next thing is to sew it just the way I sewed it the other time. If you know that your sewing machine is not going to go on this, because of this wording, the wording reached this side, I just supposed to put the wording to reach that side. She was supposed to stop somewhere here. So, but I will try to use my hand to sew that, or let me see, maybe my sewing machine is going to go on it. So I will sew it just the way I described the other time. Yeah, I've sewed it. So my machine was not able to go on that. I will use my hand needle to sew that. So my sewing machine did not sew this out. Later use my hand needle to do that. So I would like to say something here. If you are gluing this marco and this one to your fabric, make sure you use your hot glue. It is advisable to use hot glue. So before I turn it out, let me do my running stitch. Double your thread inside your needle and do your running stitch from here to this hem, just the way you do it on your turban. Yeah, just make sure you weave it before you do your running stitch, like weave the edge. Now here is what we have. So for the design that will be at the back, let me introduce the material we're going to use. So this is how it's going to look. Don't mind me, I'm very fast with this video because I have limited time and it is down already. So this is how it's going to look. Now place the design at the back. Alright, for the design that will be at the back, I'm very sorry I did this off the camera. I made use of the light when there was light. So I put stay inside it. I iron stay inside it and turn it to the right side. I sewed it and turn it to the right side, and that is what you are seeing here. I have 11 inches by 11 inches by 20 by 16 inches. So by the time I sewed, I now have 5 inches. I cut 11 inches by 16 inches. By the time I sewed the edge at the edge, I have 10 inches, which is in fold 5 inches, and the 16 inches still remain the same thing. I sewed the two edges. I sewed it like this straight and leave about 5 inches where I joined here to turn it out. So after I turn it out, I secure this edge by sewing it. And I have something like this. So I place the stay inside so that to make it strong. You know how Ankara fabric is very soft now. So we'll be forming a fan design with this. We're forming a fan design with this, and we'll be needing our office pin. Let me say, okay, let me go ahead to use my needle and thread. But let me explain how it's going to be. I believe some people know what this is going to be. But let me show you. So you start your fan design by folding it like this. You fold, it starts like this, and then you go ahead to be plate. You are not plating it straight, just in form of um, you are bending it like diagonal. It's form of diagonal stuff. Can you see? Let me do it again. So you fold this one inside. I fold it just like triangle form. You fold it. You also fold another one on it in a triangular form or in a diagonal form. You fold it. So you can fold like 2 to 3, use the needle and thread to sew it. Continue. That is the way I'm going to do it till I reach the last end. So now I'm folding it and I want to sew it with my needle and thread. So the logic is that this is facing you. You are not forming a straight plate, just diagonal, just like the way I said. So you fold it, and the one you fold on it will be longer than the first one. I'm very sorry. Okay. So it will be longer than the first one. Hope you can see it. So when I fold like 2 to 3 plates, I secure it with my needle and thread. I sew like 2 to 3 times before I go ahead to pleat another one on it. Hope you can see the way I sew. So I'll continue with another pleat again. Hope you can see. Just like a fan design. So fold like 2 to 3 and just do it the way down. You can see that the fan design is already forming. So when I fold like 2 to 3, I sew and secure it. It can be somehow hard. Oh my god. Just make sure you do it very well. So that's how I'm going to continue till I reach the end, and I will show you the next thing to do when I'm done. Now to finish the end, I've already formed it. So to finish this place, I'm going to just fold it like this. It was like this before. I'll fold it like this and use my needle and thread to sew it. It is a little bit hard because of the what is it called? The stay that is inside. So I will use my iron to iron it down so that that fan design can come out nice. So I will use my hand to form the pleats very well and iron it. Now you can see how it is well formed after ironing it. Can you see? So now we're going to be using this fan design to form a rose. Now I will roll it, start from here. I'll just, can you see how I'm going to roll? Just like you are doing your donuts. So I'll take my needle and thread and secure it. So I'll make sure I secure it very well before I continue. So I also go ahead to do the pleat, arrange the pleat very well, and also roll it. Can you see the way I'm doing it? I'll arrange the pleat very well and roll. Because if you don't do that, it's not going to come out nice, and also secure it. Please hope you are following me. This is very important to follow. So I'll go ahead to also sew it. So after secure that again, I'll arrange the pleats. You can see the way I'm arranging them. Don't just roll. If you roll, you won't see, it won't come out nice. I'll arrange the plate and turn it to the other side. Also secure it and continue like that till I finish the whole fan. So I'll make sure I sew it tight and sew it very well here. Just sew every part that I needed to sew. Please, you can go ahead to use hot glue to finish the remaining one because I've seen the light now. You've seen the light, I've seen the light. So I'm going to continue with this hot glue. Please follow the fan design. I'll continue like that till I finish the remaining one and we are done. So because it's Saka, if it is Ashoke, you are going to enjoy this style, like enjoy it. But because of Ankara and the way it is just doing like yori yori, I don't understand. But it's still good, it still form the what I want it to form. And I'm going to go. Go to a shop and open it. Very sorry, my video did not record this when I was attaching the rose, the fan rose to the Zara cup. So I use my hot glue. I use my hot glue to do that. So it's only your hot glue and your needle and thread you can use to attach your rose. So the Zara cap and make sure you do it very neat. Now this is how it's going to look. Can you see? So see the back. You see the fan rose. You can just go ahead to place something here, but I don't need to do that. It is where it is neat. That place is neat. So I don't need to do that. And if I want to, I will just place something small on that place. I don't need each. So you can still trace your fan. You can still try to trace it if you can. You can still try to trace it if you can trace it. So you see, it is nice, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now what I want to do now is to place these trimmings. I'll just cut one or two, apply my Big gum on it and place it at the center here. Because I won't show that. You have to, I believe you know that. Just one. I'll place it and I can even leave it like this. Let me see how it's going to be, and I'll show you the end product. You see, this is nice, beautiful, lovely. Thank you for watching.